Plenty of bad things happen in these halls every day, but there is always something good waiting just around the corner.
All right, well, I thought that you could use one of these.
My little boy, no.
We rise together, we fall together.
It all comes down to family.
Thank God for General Hospital.
General Hospital has a long history of problematic relationships, but Carly Spencer must break the mold and cut all ties with Jack Brennan when she finds out the truth about what he's done to her daughter, Josslyn Jax. Carly Laura Wright has been falling for Jack, Chris McKenna, for months, but he's been lying to her about a very serious matter. When Josslyn, Eden McCoy, fatally shot Cyrus Renault, Jeff Kober, in self-defense, she called WSB agent Jack for help. However, in exchange for covering up the crime, Jack recruited Josslyn to join the WSB in secret, keeping her new job hidden from even her mother, Carly. Jack has been lying by omission to Carly about Josslyn for months, which has made their blossoming relationship very hard to watch. Now that Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, has figured out the truth, it won't be long before it comes to light, especially because Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, might inadvertently discover what Josslyn has been up to as he searches for Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault. Carly's reaction to Jack's betrayal has the potential to break a long-time General Hospital problem of women staying in relationships in which their partners abuse them, mentally, physically, or both. General Hospital is infamous for its problematic romances, the most horrifying being that of Luke and Laura. Luke Spencer, Tony Geary, and Laura Weber, Jeannie Francis, were once considered one of the show's greatest love stories. In 1981, their wedding was watched by a record-breaking 30 million viewers. However, there was a dark cloud over their romance that couldn't be swept under the rug. Luke had raped Laura at the beginning of their relationship, but the show had dismissed the violence by calling it a seduction. Although General Hospital attempted to correct this egregious error in judgment in the late 90s by revisiting the storyline with honesty, the show could never make up for the fact that it romanticized sexual violence. Over the years, there have been many other controversial General Hospital relationships that have excused men hurting women, including Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, and Franco Baldwin. Roger Howarth. Serial killer Franco had kidnapped Elizabeth's newborn son, Aiden, but all of his crimes were eventually excused by the fact that he had a brain tumor. It was difficult to watch Elizabeth fall in love with and marry a man who'd hurt one of her children, especially because she's such a protective mother. Similarly, it's been concerning to watch Elizabeth allow Rick Hurst, back into her life after he poisoned her with birth control pills while he held Carly captive in a panic room, which eventually caused Elizabeth to have an embolism when she discovered what had happened. Carly also has a history of problematic relationships, including marrying Lorenzo Alcazar, Ted King, after he'd kidnapped her, and getting engaged to Franco after he'd done the same, and also terrorized so many people she loved. It was shocking to watch Carly, a strong woman who doesn't allow herself to be pushed around, make such poor decisions when it came to men who caused so much pain to herself and her family. When Carly finally finds out that Jack has put Josslyn in such a dangerous position in the WSB, along with forcing her daughter to deal with the fact that she killed someone without any mental health support from her family or professionals, she must turn her back on him forever. It's been heartbreaking to watch Jack force Josslyn to continue to lie to Carly's face when they always had such a strong mother-daughter relationship. Carly can never forgive Jack for his lies and manipulation. Although several people have warned Carly about how dangerous Jack is, she stands by him because he helped her and her family in the past, including saving her cousin, Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, from Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda. However, Jack is now making a fool out of Carly by lying to her about Josslyn. General Hospital has a troubling history when it comes to how women are portrayed in relationships, but it can make up for it in part by having Carly, one of their strongest female characters, completely turn her back on Jack when she discovers the truth about him. What he did can't be excused or changed for the sake of keeping their relationship alive on the show. Although it can never make up for the horrible mistakes the show has made in the past, General Hospital must do the right thing and create a new beginning in which women are portrayed as strong people with good judgment, who refuse to compromise themselves for the sake of a man. Carly is the perfect character to take this stand. General Hospital hunk Josh Kelly has been playing Cody Bell since 2022, but his recent change from a contract player to recurring status has me concerned about his character's future, even though he says that he wants to stay on the show forever. Kelly made a literal splash when he debuted as Cody, parachuting into the Metro Court pool and knocking Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thiebaud, in with him. Cody was later revealed to be the son of Max Scorpio, John J. York, and Dominique Stanton, Shell Danielson. He's also Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, and Brooklyn Quartermains, Amanda Setton, childhood friend. When Cody and Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson, began a romance after he helped her escape from Ferncliff, they were devastated to learn that they were actually cousins. Cody also has a connection to the Quartermain family because he has a close friendship with Tracy, Jane Elliott, as he works in the family stables. Most recently, Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Monsey, hired him to seduce Ava Jerome, Maura West. However, Cody has also been developing feelings for Christina's sister, Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vaganos. With all of these connections to major General Hospital characters and families, I thought that Cody was being set up to be one of the show's leading men. However, I was shocked to learn that he was recently dropped from contract to recurring status on the show. Although Kelly insists that he wants to stay on General Hospital forever, I'm concerned that Cody could be written out sooner rather than later. Although Kelly's General Hospital contract change concerns me, I was relieved to hear that he was dropped to recurring status by his own request. In an interview with Soap Opera Digest, Kelly revealed that, although he made the decision to go off contract, he doesn't want to leave the show permanently. He said, "I want to stay on General Hospital forever." Kelly chose to drop to recurring status because he wanted to be able to work on other projects, including a movie that he'll be making and shooting for 2 months with his real-life girlfriend, former General Hospital actress Chloe Lanier Nelly. Kelly's also working on shooting the sequel to a movie that he is coming out this summer, The Workout. Kelly explained, "I just wouldn't be able to do that if I was on contract. You don't just get to go off and do a bunch of other projects. And I wouldn't expect the show to work around my schedule." He shared that executive producer Frank Valentini bent over backwards to accommodate him when he was filming The Workout, and I am so appreciative of him. Kelly continued, "But some days I would have to work at night on the movie and then come in and work on GH during the day, and sometimes I felt like I was letting one project down. And I don't want to let this show down at all." Although Kelly has the acting chops and the looks to be a General Hospital leading man, I've always been disappointed that Cody has never been portrayed that way. He's usually a secondary character in storylines, or even used as comic relief. When Cody rescued Sasha from Ferncliff, he proved himself to be a hero, but then he regressed again after his relationship with her ended. I always feel that Cody is written as much younger than he actually is, constantly getting into trouble and fights, when he should be portrayed as a strong leading man. However, Kelly is content with his current storyline and working with Monsey, Vaganos, and West. Kelly said, "I really think this is the hardest and best acting gymnasium in the world. I really love what I'm doing on the show now, and I feel like I'm on a really good vibe with everyone. The story is fun and interesting, and I'm really excited to continue with it." Kelly also joked that he won't exit General Hospital until one of his dreams for Cody is fulfilled. He laughed, "I will not leave the show until they allow Cody to date Tracy." Although it's great to hear that Kelly is satisfied with his current General Hospital storyline, I believe that he and Cody deserve better. However, his switch to recurring status will now prevent him from having a more in-depth storyline. I worry that Kelly will continue to pursue outside acting jobs until he finally leaves the show, or the General Hospital producers let him go. I really like Cody, but all of his stories seem to hit dead ends. The reveal of him being Mac's son has been truly inconsequential, and his romance with Sasha was destroyed. In addition, no good can come of his current scheme to seduce Ava, especially because he's developing feelings for Molly. While I'm excited to see how Cody reacts to Britt being alive, I know that her return story is all about her reunion with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. Therefore, it seems that Cody will continue in the Molly/Ava storyline instead. I'm concerned that the show is writing Cody into a corner and that Kelly will eventually decide to leave General Hospital for good. General Hospital promises danger as more people discover that a certain character is alive. Bringing supposedly dead characters back to life is a favorite soap trope because it gives audiences hope that they will see their favorite characters again after they die. General Hospital tries to keep these types of stories semi-realistic, which is often difficult to accomplish. Although Kelly requested to move to recurring status, he made sure that everyone at General Hospital knew that he had no intention of leaving the show for good. He said, "I told them pretty much what I'm telling you, which is that I would like to stay forever. I love being here. I love everyone that I'm working with on the show. I was just looking to have a little more flexibility." The reveal that Britt is alive is one of General Hospital's craziest stories as well as one of its most exciting. With Anna convincing Jason to search for Britt and Josslyn headed in her direction as part of a WCB mission, General Hospital is creating a tense reintroduction for Britt, and it will shift into higher gear this week. Britt's return storyline heats up this week, finally breaking out of the cycle it has been stuck in since Britt returned. Jason initially wanted to respect Britt's need for space by ignoring that she was still alive, which stalled progress. Several people in Port Charles have had conversations about Britt while Britt was engaged in a power struggle. Fortunately, this slow-burn setup is about to yield to a high-stakes storyline. Anna will convince Jason to search for Britt after all, and he will embrace his mission toward the end of the week. Meanwhile, Joss will be shocked to discover Britt is still alive, while Britt is in significant danger. Britt's reappearance comes at the perfect time. Albrecht is determined to have a relationship with Rocco now that he knows that Britt was the one who gave birth to him, and Lulu and Dante do not want to allow it. If Britt returns to Port Charles, it'll also add to the tension over Rocco. Here's the complete list of day-by-day synopses for this week's General Hospital. Monday, August 11th. Anna has a warning for Jason. Will it be enough to convince him to search for Britt? Josslyn and Vaughn check into the 5 puppies.
Britt is threatened.
Alexis ponders a legal maneuver. Tracy is disappointed in Cody. Tuesday, August 12th. Drew and Willow cross paths. Will Drew be able to drag Willow back into his orbit? Jason summons Alexis. Carly confronts Marco. Chase is ordered to arrest someone, but who is it? Emma is determined. Wednesday, August 13th. Drew makes a stunning declaration. What is he up to now? Britt is reprimanded. Anna demands intel from Brennan, but does she trust her enough to give it? Willow briefs Elizabeth. Rocco reassures Gio. Thursday, August 14th. Dante and Brooklyn strategize. What is Britt's storyline is the biggest news in Port Charles right now. It is overshadowing the continued war between Sonny and Sidwell, Sonny's plan to neutralize ADA Turner, and Drew's continued attempts to win Willow back. Although Jason doesn't begin his search until Friday, there is plenty going on in this story before he gets started. From Josslyn's reaction to seeing Britt, it seems that she was unaware her mission involved the supposedly dead woman, and her reactions will be interesting. Meanwhile, Britt continues to be in danger because of her refusal to fully cooperate with what the people she's with want, making this story even more intense. It's unclear how long Britt will be in danger before she is rescued and brought back to Port Charles. However, the news of Britt being alive will cause chaos even before she makes an appearance. Dante and Lulu are already losing their temper with Albrecht. If General Hospital allows Rocco, his parents, or Albrecht to learn that Britt is alive, that will make this situation even more complicated. Additionally, Brennan wanted Britt's continued existence to be a secret, and he may need to take action to stop Carly from realizing that Josslyn is on a mission involving her, leading to extreme drama in Port Charles. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage? Click below to sign up for our weekly Network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series. General Hospital villain Dr. Liesel Albrecht has returned to the show with a lot of fanfare, but her horrific past with the Scorpio family makes her completely irredeemable, regardless of how charming she may seem. Kathleen Gotti's Liesel is a complicated character who was only supposed to be on the show for a very short time after she debuted in 2012. However, Gotti's fantastic acting and a riveting storyline prompted the producers to expand the role, and she's now come back to Port Charles after a nearly 2-year absence. Lyle's return was the result of Rocco Falconeri, Finn Carr, finding out that Lyle had stolen his parents' frozen embryo and implanted it in her own daughter, Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault. Britt gave birth to Rocco, at the time naming him Ben, and raised him for just under a year. The truth eventually came out, and Rocco was returned to his parents, Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, and Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens. Most recently, when Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seton, wanted to get revenge on Lulu for exposing Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, as her son, she dug up information about Liesl and Britt. Danny Morgan, Asher Antonizin, stumbled upon the file and showed it to Rocco, who then called Liesl so that he could speak to her in person about the situation, and so she returned to Port Charles. In addition, Liesl is currently unaware that her daughter, Britt, who supposedly died in her arms in 2023, is actually alive. Liesl is currently being portrayed as a grieving mother who's a sympathetic character who misses her daughter terribly. She's also often used as comic relief on the show with her hilarious one-liners. However, Liesl is actually a horrendous villain whose theft of Dante and Lulu's embryo was nothing compared to what she did to General Hospital's Scorpio family. Liesl was madly in love with Caesar Faison, Anders Hove, the General Hospital's supervillain who was obsessed with Anna Devane, Finola Hughes. In 2012, it was revealed that Liesl was instrumental in helping Faison hold Robin hostage after she was presumed dead in a lab explosion which he had staged. Liesl took pleasure in making Anna believe that her daughter was dead because she was so jealous of Faison's infatuation with her. While the writers have since attempted to redeem Liesl in several ways, most recently when she donated her bone marrow to save the life of her great-niece Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, her heinous actions towards Robin should never be forgotten. In addition to Liesl allowing Anna to believe that her daughter was dead, she heartlessly let Robin's daughter, Emma, suffer through the death of her mother. It's challenging to have sympathy for Liesl as she mourns the supposed death of her own daughter, Britt, after she put the Scorpio family through such horrors. After Faison was finally arrested, Liesl wanted to eliminate Robin once and for all by injecting her with a neurotoxin. However, Robin's father, Robert Scorpio, Tristan Rogers, was able to track Liesl down at a clinic, and he entered the room as Liesl and Robin were in a struggle with a syringe. Instead, Liesl stabbed Robert with a syringe, putting him into a coma, and she handed Robin over to Jerry Jacks, Sebastian Roche. Jerry forced Robin to work to find a cure for the plutonium poisoning from which he was suffering. Because of the coma, Robert was unable to tell anyone that Robin was alive. However, when he finally woke up, he convinced Anna that their daughter was alive. The Scorpios are the heroes and the heart of General Hospital, and Liesl's vile actions towards them proved that she was a heartless villain. She has since been portrayed as a much more complex character, but longtime viewers will remember that she has the capability to be intensely evil. Liesl has been the General Hospital Chief of Staff and has even performed at the nurses' ball, but all of this was an insult to the Scorpio family. Although Liesl and Anna recently had a heart-to-heart talk about their pasts and their regrets, it doesn't make up for the fact that Liesl tortured the Scorpio family both physically and mentally. Although Gotti is a fan favorite and a delightful actress, Liesl's crimes against the Scorpios are too terrible to be swept under the rug. Liesl is one of General Hospital's most ruthless villains of all time, and a rewrite of the character's personality won't change her past. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage? Click below to sign up for my weekly Network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series. There will be plenty of drama surrounding Willow and Drew's wedding on General Hospital this week, but a shocking return to Port Charles may overshadow this story. Failed weddings are a favorite soap trope, and General Hospital has maximized the drama around Willow and Drew's, with Willow under pressure not to go through with the marriage. This drama is intensified by the question of whether someone will shoot Drew at his own wedding, only weeks after a hated General Hospital character was killed off. However, this buildup may be somewhat wasted, as an even bigger story is happening at the same time. Willow's wedding drama takes center stage at the beginning of the week. While her hesitation when asked to say her vows suggests she may not go through with the wedding, further previews indicate this isn't necessarily the case. Later in the week, Willow will make a vow. This could mean that she goes through with the wedding after all, or that she vows to do what it takes to excise Drew from her life. The wedding drama takes place at the same time as Jason declares that Britt is alive and that he needs proof before he acts. Britt's return is one of General Hospital's biggest stories, and Willow's indecision about marrying a man she should not be marrying seems far less important in light of this new storyline. Here's the day-by-day synopses for this week's General Hospital. Monday, July 28th, Jason tracks down Albrecht. Will he get the answers he needs about Britt? Drew and Willow's wedding begins. Brennan issues orders to Josslyn. Christina confides in Michael. Molly picks a fight. Tuesday, July 29th, Portia consoles Nina. Is this related to Willow and Drew's wedding? Jason discusses Britt with Albrecht. Tracy and Cody are pleased. Martin gets intriguing information. Wednesday, July 30th, Michael must make a big decision. What is it, and will he make the right choice? Nina makes a covert play. Rick gets a new client. Curtis debriefs with Trina. Elizabeth takes in a house guest. Thursday, July 31st, Willow makes a vow. Is it to Drew or to herself? Jason needs a favor from Elizabeth. Dante opens up to Anna. Emma takes Gio into her confidence. Carly shares concerns with Josslyn. Friday, August 1st, Jason shares his suspicions with Anna. Emma and Gio make a plan. What are they up to? Alexis wants answers. Dante questions Danny. Felicia counsels Lucas. Jason's determination to find Britt is one of the most exciting things to happen in Port Charles. General Hospital's Britt and Jason are a popular couple, and it's clear that Jason is still in love with her from the effort he's putting into confirming that she's alive. It's not clear why Britt's death was faked or how she feels about Jason, so this will not be a straightforward love story. Britt may not return Jason's feelings or even want to see him, which will be heartbreaking if he finally finds her only for her to push him away. This drama overshadows Willow's wedding. There is nothing romantic about Willow marrying Drew, but there is strong potential for romance with Jason's search for Britt. Additionally, Sasha's departure was disappointing because it put an end to Michael and Sasha's potential romance, so Britt's return may make up for that loss somewhat. Jason will spend most of the week searching for Britt, so it's clear this is a front-burner story that will kick into higher gear now that his search is underway. Once he confirms Britt is alive, he will want to confront her about where she has been, which will be highly dramatic regardless of whether Britt wants to be found. Additionally, whatever decision Willow makes about Drew will have repercussions. If she backs out of the wedding, Drew might retaliate. If she doesn't, she may be stuck in a marriage that ultimately turns toxic. General Hospital should not shortchange Willow and Drew's drama despite how exciting Britt's return is. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage? Click below to sign up for our weekly Network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series.